TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome to the Morning Digest. Today is Tuesday, 15th of June, the year of our Lord 2021. My name is Ndiema. I'm sitting in for Apostle Patrick Murithi, who usually is the host for this Tuesday Morning Digest. And every Tuesday we engage on matters leadership, church, and leadership. And today we have a very, very interesting topic. We'll be talking about strategic leadership, and we'll be taking focus on church. And you know, in certain quarters we've had complaints. Some people are saying church is not as organized as other corporate institutions. Where is the challenge? Especially the Pentecostals, the Charismatics, and you know, and the evangelicals. So that's a topic we want to delve in. We want to understand more so that we can get to become better and have a voice even as a church. And today we have an amazing, amazing guest, Mr. Eliud Nthiga, who is a management consultant. He's also the CEO of Adventure Educator Kenya. So we'll be engaging him in just a bit, but you can get in touch with us. The numbers are right there on your screen. You can also go to our social media pages on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram at Elevate TV Kenya. And it will be great to hear from you so that we can engage more. Right? If you have any question, bring it on. We'll get to engage. So karibu sana, Mr. Nthiga.
Asante sana.
And it's good to have you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you for taking time to be here.
Thank you.
So that we can engage.
Thank you very much. And good morning, viewers. I'm grateful to be in Elevate TV today. Thank you for the invitation. And I'm happy to be here.
Right.
And to share whatever the Lord has given us to share today.
Amen.
Thank you.
Is this your first interview on TV?
Yes, it's actually my first interview on TV. So I'm very nervous, I guess.
Not to worry.
And I hope it won't disappear.
No, not to worry. Already you're doing very well.
Thank you.
So we will take it up very well. So Mr. Nthiga, I think before we even delve into the details of strategic leadership, it will be good to know a bit more about you. We know you're a management consultant. You're the CEO of Adventure Educator Kenya.
Yes.
You have a family, you go to church, you give us more details about yourself and professionally as well.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ndiema.
Yes.
My name is Eliud Nthiga, as you have rightly said. I am born again. I love Jesus Christ. He is the Lord of my heart. Mm-hmm. I have been in Christian service for quite a while, for a couple of years, and it has been interesting serving the Lord. Mm-hmm. But I've also been in the corporate world as a management consultant. Of course, I started as an employee of some organizations that I worked for before I formed Adventure Educator Kenya. A couple of years ago, almost 30 years now, in a consultancy. And I've worked for several organizations, which probably we'll be talking about later.
Yes.
I am married. And I have 4 children.
Oh, great.
Yeah, 4 children. Some are grown, others are growing.
we also have while our retirement.
Yeah, those who come later.
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. So that is me. We live here in Nairobi. I go to church.
Yes.
And we serve together with my family at Gospel Celebration Church, Kayole.
Yes.
We have been in that ministry for over 20 years. Mm-hmm. And we have seen the Lord do great things.
Amen.
Transforming lives, changing lives, and people coming and getting saved, and seeing them grow in Christ. Yeah. It is very exciting. And I love serving in the church because serving God is not without benefits, as the scripture says. Recently and currently, I am with the Evangelical Alliance of Kenya, where I am in charge of programs and projects. And we are serving together there with the rest of the brethren. And therefore, many times meeting church leaders, talking to them, building capacity in their churches, and equipping them so that they can become more effective.
Right.
And of course, apart from EAK, there are some other ministries that have helped or we have worked together with. So probably
we will get in that later.
Yes.
And I'm glad that you are part of the EAK.
Yes.
Because that's an outfit that deals with a lot of the evangelical churches.
Yes.
And right there, we've had a bit of issues.
Yes.
And I'm sure you will point out some of those issues.
Yes.
So strategic leadership.
Yes.
It looks like an amorphous, statement, or two words that are huge words.
Yes.
Break it down for us. What does it mean? What does strategic leadership mean?
Thank you very much, Mr. Ndiema. Many times when people hear the word strategic,
yes,
they think it's a very big and complicated concept. But I would like to say that it's not difficult. It's not a very complicated thing because it's a derivative of the word strategy. And we can define what strategy is. So the moment we define what strategy is, then strategic makes sense. And I would want to say that in very simple terms, strategy is creating a plan or a roadmap or determining what you need to do, exactly what you need to do to achieve certain results.
To determine what you
need to do to achieve certain determined results.
So there's an end goal. Which
you have an
results.
end, which are the results. So you are asking, how do I achieve these results?
It's a journey.
So that journey, the roadmap now, towards that goal is what we call strategy.
And it can be as simple as I am a family man.
Yes.
I have 3 children.
Yes.
I want them to go to the university.
Yes.
So between here and the university,
what do you need to do?
What do I need to do?
Yes.
So it's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that.
I like that.
So you kind of now determine what you have to do so that they can go to the university without difficulties.
Right.
That means they will need probably to school fees.
Yes.
They will need you need to make an investment so that then you will be able to get money when you need it.
Yes.
It means that you have to get them into some good school where they will be able to run better.
Yes.
Maybe there are some with talents. So we may need to think of how to tap into those talents. So, ways of equipping them. And probably you have to think of where they live, because they can't, you can't put them on trees and expect them to become graduates another day.
Yes, to create an environment.
You have to create an environment.
Yes.
You have to also think about their future after university, you see. So strategy doesn't end with the goal you have set. You also must think beyond that goal. What will happen thereafter?
Yes.
This is why we talk about short term, medium term, and long term goals.
Right.
And strategy is supposed to cover that.
All right.
Yes.
So I mean, that's a very clear description of strategy.
Yes.
So how do you put that together, strategic leadership?
Right. So then when it comes now to leadership, it means that someone must provide leadership. We all understand what leadership is.
Yes.
Someone must then provide leadership to achieve the strategy you wanted or the strategy you have developed.
You're breathing life through someone into the strategy.
And you know what we usually say? That if you want to do a strategy, don't just think it in your mind. When it remains in your mind, it's what we call wishful thinking.
Oh. Okay.
If you have to translate that strategy into actions, we say that you put it down on the paper.
All right.
And do you remember there was someone in the Bible who was told to write something down?
Yes.
Put it on paper. Because it will happen.
Vision, right.
Even if it tarries, it will come
eventually
to pass.
Yes.
So was it Habakkuk? One of those prophets?
Yes.
So generally we say that put it in writing. Because you will be able to make reference to it. Sometimes strategy can be very complex, depending on which area you are dealing with.
Right.
Or it can be as simple as you have said. Like now the children you have referred to, get to the university, it may look like simple because people do it. Not mean right.
Yes.
But it is better when it is written down. It becomes easier.
That's true.
So that even if you are not there or you are not the one who is doing it, someone else can do it.
Yeah.
Like now for an organization, for example.
Yeah.
If you want to achieve certain goals, you are not the only one who is working on them. Probably you have staff and managers and other people who come to help you to achieve the objectives or the specific goals, which eventually translates to what we call vision. Yeah, I don't want to get to that jargon.
All right. And I know that's a very heavy conversation of, so how do you apply strategy?
Yes.
What are the details of strategic leadership?
Yes.
So we'll get into that. We'll have a focus on charge.
Yes.
Tell us a bit of some of your experiences when it comes to strategic leadership.
Right. So like I was saying that you need a leader now to interpret strategy. So what you find is that some leaders, or would I call them CEOs or managers or directors in certain organizations, get into those organizations and they want to develop strategy to help them lead those organizations or provide strategic leadership in those organizations to achieve strategic objectives. So they will invite you.
Okay.
And they will probably determine they want to develop strategy. So I have interacted with a few of those in various organizations. Some were friends who knew what I do, or others had what probably you are doing. And you see, as an organization and as a person, as you grow, you interact with different publics and organizations. So I've interacted with a couple of them. Maybe I can mention a few, so that probably people can...
it gives us a picture. Just a few of them, the major ones that you've done.
Yes.
All right.
Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay.
Just to demonstrate.
All right.
A while ago, I worked for government institutions. And I was able to interact with some very big corporates within the government.
All right.
Let me talk about the National Police Service.
Wow.
For example. Around 2013, I was contracted to do a strategic plan for them. Remember,
National
that is
Police.
Yes. And at that time, is when we had the first Inspector General Police. And then there was a new act that needed to be operationalized, the NPS 2011, and now with the incoming of a new Inspector General.
Yes.
And a new outfit defined by a new act, there was need to be strategic.
Right.
In a real sense. So I was involved in that.
All right.
And I was able to develop a plan for them, which spanned about 5 years.
Great.
And because usually in this country, what we have seen, most of the strategic plans have a cycle of about 5 years.
5 years, yes.
And I think that's a government way of, for example, dividing a big thing, into smaller
pieces,
portions.
Portions, yes.
Like now, with the NAC government, you remember, when the former president,
yes,
Mwai Kibaki, yes, came into power. He led this nation towards Vision 2030.
Yes.
And that was 2012. No,
Yes.
2002.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite a while ago.
It's 2002.
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
So
That's a while
2003, when we was talking about Vision 2030,
Yeah.
we were saying these are 27 years.
From that time.
And it was looking like a long time. You know?
7 years, someone is born and now they are marrying.
Yeah, they
It
will
looks
be
like
married.
a very long time.
It's a long time.
Yes.
But you know now, you cannot just bite the 27 years.
You break it.
You break them down. And the government will break them down into 5 years cycles. So this country has done, and most of the government institutions, they have done 5 years cycle strategic plans, tending towards the major grand goal of Vision 2030. All right? So I did that for National Police Service.
All right.
And we were able to implement significantly.
Wow.
And I think as we sit here, some things are being done based on that strategy, I suppose.
Well done.
So that is going on.
All right.
And we were able to do a lot of things.
Great.
A lot of things within a very short time.
Okay.
Because when you have strategy, again, Mr. Ndiema, you are able to follow through. Because you said you'll do 1, 2, 3 things.
Right.
So you're able to say, I have done 1. Is it completed or not? I said I'll do number 2. When do I start? You know, everything has a start.
That's true.
You can't start all of them at the same time. So that is NPS. The other one I also did strategy for was Kilde. A lot of people know Kilde.
Yes.
I did a strategy for them again, which was very good.
That's Kenya Institute
Research and Development Institute.
Yes.
Yeah, Kenya Industrial.
Right, industrial.
Research. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes. People do not understand KILD, but KILD is a very strategic organization or parastatal in this country.
Right.
Because it is supposed to do research, industrial research, and span industrialization of this country. So I was involved in doing a strategy for them, which was actually followed by a document which is supposed to translate KILD into a leading institution for industrialization by the year 2030 for Kenya. Kenya should be highly industrialized
by 2030.
By 2030.
Wow.
So now you look at many aspects of what industrialization is all about.
Yes.
What are the strategies that are going to be applied? What components will involve that? And where do you start and where do you end? So we're able to do that.
So let me ask you, Mr. Nthiga.
Yeah.
So as you think about doing a strategic plan, of course there is you have to understand the organization.
Yes.
And we've just flipped into, I know there are many others that you've been able to do. Just mention some of them, some of the others.
Yeah, I can also mention Kenya National Library Service. Kenya National Library Service is parastatal that deals with libraries, development of libraries in this country.
Right.
Right now, I think KNLS has about 66 libraries across the country. People don't know.
Yeah, we know very few of them. We actually think the one in Nairobi.
In fact, when were you last in a library? Maybe when you were in primary school or secondary school.
In a formal library in campus.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
But now Kenya National Library.
No. I have never been there.
You see, for you to be able to cover Kenya.
Yes.
And provide reading materials and environment to schools, which is the mandate of Kenya National Library. And not just schools, even for researchers and for the entire public.
Yes.
You can't wake up one day and you see libraries mushrooming. It has to be systematic.
So let's come here. Let's come here very practically.
Yes.
And we'll talk about church.
Yes.
So very practically, here you are. You're saying there's this organization.
Yes.
That needs to move.
Yes.
To a height.
Yes.
That is desirable.
Yes.
So where do you start formulating that? And that's strategic leadership, right?
Right. So as you provide leadership now, you have to have certain skills and competencies.
Okay.
You as a leader.
All right.
Which probably we'll discuss later. Those competencies, you put them now to work. And it means then that you begin to organize resources, both human as well as non-human, yeah? Financial and others,
All right.
around what you want to do. Then you begin to share information and bring minds together. You begin to draw experiences of various people. Then probably you call a technical person like me who has experience in helping to organize all that and put it together.
Okay.
All right? So that's how you begin. But then, so you put resources together. Let's start by you determine that you want to do a strategy.
That's number one.
That is where you begin.
All right.
Determine. Then you begin to bring resources together, and then you start the process of planning.
And you've said the resources is human?
You need human resource.
All right.
You need finances.
Yes.
And you need non-human resources. Like if you have got equipment that are needed, you have got those resources. Yeah, for production. You know, in production we say there are various.
Yeah, there are various tools.
resources that you require.
Exactly. If it's a production, for example, strategy, you need equipment. And so on and so forth.
You know, buildings.
Yes.
You need land. Like if you are going to construct a library, for example, you need land.
Yes.
If you are going to construct a church, you need land.
Yeah,
you need to do buildings. You need the human capital.
Yes.
That is necessary to undertake all that. You need money to buy various things.
Yes.
Including to pay a consultant like me.
That's true. So you're part of the strategy.
You need the time.
Yes.
As a resource.
As a resource as well.
Yeah, and because planning also takes a bit of time. The implementation.
Wow, yeah.
It takes place over time.
That's true.
That is also a resource that you must take advantage of. Yeah, I mean, there are all those.
All right. So you've brought together the resources.
Yes.
Now you pull in someone like you.
Yes.
Who's a consultant to put it
them
together.
Yes.
So what is your role now when you come in?
So someone like me now is a technical person. Will probably, there are some steps that are not necessary to really probably discuss here
now. Yes.
Because now there will be need for a proposal to indicate how I am able to do that work.
Okay.
Then the proposal is looked at and it's agreed upon.
Yes.
We agree on the payments.
All right.
Then we put, the first thing is to present to the team on how we can do that thing. We call it a presentation.
Okay.
You make a presentation.
So that's you.
Yes.
Of course, now you've seen the bigger picture.
I've read about the organization. I know what they do.
All right.
I understand their mandate. I know what they anticipate to do. But you need to bring them together now and show them that you can.
Okay.
So when they are sure that you can,
all right,
then you begin now to interact with them.
All right.
So they'll tell you what they are thinking about. They'll tell you the challenges they are facing. They will tell you what the limitations they have. So you're able to listen to all that.
All right.
But then generally, you do that, for example, maybe in a workshop where you bring several people. Like in organizations, we say bring the people together. Senior managers,
right?
Because they are the ones who are the burden carriers. They are involved in the mix of the resources in the organization.
All right, let's do this, Mr. Nthiga, so that we also save on the time we have.
Yes.
Let's create a scenario.
All right.
Of a church.
Right.
Before we take the break.
Okay.
I think we'll find more help since we are doing church and leadership.
Yes.
So there is this church that has wants to move to a greater place, and it's just not necessarily a big church. It's just a moderate church.
Right.
So take us through that process.
I have experience with the small churches.
All right.
And I will not mention the name, but probably I will describe what they were going through.
All right.
They are 3/4 of an acre. right?
All right.
And they wanted to do a big sanctuary because they were outgrowing the small one they had. They did not have other halls or places where they could even do Sunday school.
Okay.
But then they are located in a very strategic place,
Wow.
bordering or near a university college. And therefore they were saying, look, we know there's demand for hostels in this place. What is it we can do so that we can make good use of the small piece of land that we have?
All right.
And there was no opportunity to buy more land because people had settled there.
Wow.
They have just 3 quarters of an acre. So they called me.
That's an interesting one.
And the readers now asked me what I can do for them. Of course, they explained to me all those details.
Yes.
So I told them what we can do. Let's come together, bring all the leadership together, and let's think together. Because a consultant does not have solutions.
Solutions, yes.
No.
It's
they come
within
from
there.
you.
Yes.
We must discuss and then see which is the best way to go about this thing.
All right.
So we met, we went through some discussions, we went into strategic planning, and you can't believe what we crafted that time, they implemented.
Out of the 3/4.
Out of the 3 quarters, when I visited last time,
Yes.
almost after 10 years,
Right.
I found they had done a hostel where we said it should be located.
Amazing.
So they did not do the church first. They agreed in the hostel.
Okay.
Because the hostel will generate resources to even do the sanctuary. Right? Instead of building some structures without plan, they actually got a tent where they would actually do the service.
All right.
And they would, because it was bigger now than the other sanctuary. And the small sanctuary, they converted it into Sunday school classes.
Wow.
But they would meet in a tent,
All right.
as they did the hostels.
Yeah, I like that. So that whole process, there had to be a strategy. How long was it?
That was a 5-year strategy.
All right.
And after that, of course, they developed another one. So today, I think they have already started constructing the sanctuary now, the big sanctuary. And they are not struggling as much because the hostel is generating some resources.
Ideally,
Yeah.
if they sat down as a church, they would say, our core business is church. Let us build a church first. There's an opportunity they will have lost.
Yes. They would have missed the opportunity of the hostels.
Right.
And the resources that come with it.
That come with it.
Yes.
So things are easier.
Yes.
All right. What we do, let's take a break. There's a scenario that is very close to my heart.
Okay.
I want to paint it.
Yes.
And I think these are the very practical things that church go through.
Right.
And some of them they really need a lot of help. So I'll paint a picture. We see if we can be able to draw something around that. But clearly this is not a program we can finish today from the way it's looking. All right. So we take a short break. We'll be coming back with Mr. Nthiga. If you have any question, kindly engage us. The numbers are right there on the screen. You can also go to our social media pages, engage us. If you are in a crisis as a church, right here there is help. And you can find that help. And it will be a great blessing, all right? So don't go too far. This is the Morning Digest.
Guidance to help pastors stand strong.
There are certain major attacks that men of God face in their life and ministry.
According to our tests, this man, we are just sure about 3 hours.
3 hours.
3 hours. 3 hours.
Oh my God.
Focus on issues affecting women.
Today on Sister Talk, we are going to discuss young wives.
And then those surprising moments, sometimes anakuja unashtuka, hey, mtu amekuja na flower, unasema hata sikuwa naitarajia, si birthday.
Empowering talks on health and wellness.
The services, they are
some
they are
ridges.
deep. Yeah,
Yes.
they have ridges,
Yes.
and these tend to hide food.
Yes.
So you make sure they are super clean.
Wow.
Yeah.
Spice up your weekend with top-rated Christian movies.
An army of believers and will stand on your word above all else.
Reading is essential for those who seek to rise above the ordinary. Let's bring back the reading culture. You now have an opportunity to travel the world without moving your feet. We present to you Elevation Bookshop. Elevation Bookshop brings you enriching content through books that have an array of themes ranging from parenting to women, men, children, spiritual nourishment, and much more. You can now get a gift for your loved one on their birthday, anniversary, and any other memorable occasion. Get in touch with us on our social media pages. On Instagram, we are elevation_bookshop, and on Facebook, we are Elevation Bookshop. Get your book or gift today by visiting us at Kenya Cinema, Mezzanine Floor, Moi Avenue, Nairobi. For more information, call us on 0719 666655. Elevation Bookshop. Enrich your life.
All right, welcome back to the Morning Digest on Tuesday. My name is Anthony Ndiema, sitting in for Apostle Patrick Murithi, who is actually the one who hosts the program. Today we are talking about strategic leadership. We are with Mr. Eliud Nthiga. You know, he has done this for over 30 years. He's a management consultant. He's also the CEO of Adventure Educator Kenya. So we'll be getting his contacts later on. So if you need strategy, he's the guy to go to, and it will be a great blessing. So we were talking about church.
Yes.
And I like the example you gave of a project you did,
Yes.
where they have 3/4 of an acre. They need to do something. There's a university. So for them, getting hostels is a priority.
Yes.
But you know, I'm just thinking, Mr. Nthiga,
Yes, sir.
as someone in church, or even a spiritual leader, one person will probably say, and probably the spiritual leader will say, you know what, we are not here for business. We are here for spiritual, you know.
Yeah, enrichment.
Enrichment.
Yes.
But that will have been an opportunity loss.
Yes.
Because to be even more effective, resources are very key. And look at how they did this. Let's do a tent, let's do hostels.
Yes.
And that was only able with a proper strategy and help
Yes.
for someone who understands this.
Yes.
Let me paint a picture of a small church, a church of about 60 people.
Okay.
And this is very close to my heart.
Okay. Okay.
Of about 60 people. This church is relatively a neighborhood that is well placed.
Okay.
In terms of social economic status.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And the minister, of course, was clearly had, this is where I want you to establish. But then over time, that neighborhood is not responding to this church. People from elsewhere are the ones coming. And this church needs to, there's an opportunity to get land right there. But remember, these people are not responding. This land, you have about 50 people, 60 people. It's a lot of money.
Okay.
Say about 30 million to do the entire project and do the church. So that's a crisis right there. You see that picture?
Yeah.
So what do you do in such a scenario?
Okay. Yeah, that scenario is interesting.
Yes.
But maybe let me say that when we talk about strategy, you are really talking about increasing the ability to navigate through unknown scenarios effectively.
I like that.
So unknown.
Yes.
And you see, life is, the entire of life is chatting, going to the unknown.
Right.
Even you don't know what will happen after this
program.
This program.
Yes.
It is unknown to you.
Yeah.
But you see, you can anticipate. So you must have the ability to anticipate.
Mm-hmm.
And in your anticipation, there's a lot of things that you must do. So as a leader, and I believe now this pastor,
yes,
he needs to have certain skills and competencies,
all right,
that are necessary to help him be able to deal with that scenario. So even without prescribing to him, it is important for that pastor, number one, to have the ability to anticipate. What is it that he anticipates or she anticipates should happen? Remember, it's the unknown.
It is unknown.
But
yes.
what is it that he thinks should happen? And you are able to anticipate that.
Mm-hmm.
So that becomes like a vision. You know?
Yes.
What is it that I must achieve here? Probably this church, although we are 60, we need to grow to 200.
200, yes.
There must be some things that must be done
to grow
the church and grow the number.
Yes.
So growing the number becomes a strategic objective.
Great. Wow. Growing the number becomes a strategic objective.
Yes.
Okay.
In its own right. All right? The other thing is the will to challenge, issues and the current situation.
Right. And this is also a typical scenario of
Yes.
a church.
Of a
or
church,
any organization.
Or any organization.
All right.
Right? So the will to challenge issues.
Right.
And the dynamics and the difficulties that are there.
Mm-hmm.
You see, life is comprised of difficulties
Right.
and challenges.
Yes.
So if you are going to lead a church like that, certainly there's going to be, there's a challenge now of money is available. But maybe you have not developed, you don't have enough land. So that's a problem. It's a limiting problem, a challenge.
Right.
So you have to think, how do we then buy more land for future development?
Yes.
So that now is an objective by itself. We know where we place it when we are doing now strategy. Issues to do with the infrastructure, issues to do with the equipment, all that, we know where we place them. Then this person must have the tenacity to analyze, or interpret the situations as they unfold.
Yes.
You have to analyze. In strategy, we do analysis. You are able to look at the environment that you are living in. We call it environmental scanning. You look at the people there, you look at what they like, how they want to be handled, you look at the opportunities that are available, you look at all the things around there. You look at the stakeholders that are interested with what you are doing. Like now that church, I guess there could be some other stakeholders that really would like the church to succeed, or the church to move to the new dimensions.
That's true.
Or the church to go out and outreach to other areas. So the analysis. And I want to quote a man we usually quote, who was very strong in strategy, a Chinese, who said that if you are dealing with an army, the army that does more analysis and understand the environment better is likely to succeed in war.
And the army that understands the competitor.
Yes, because you have to understand the competitor. It's called Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu.
And I would ask readers and those who are listening to us, if you're able to hand your hand on a book called Strategy by Sun Tzu, it will be amazing.
Great. So remember, you can continue interacting with us. That's a very, very, powerful conversation about strategic leadership. So continue interacting with us. Our lines are open. You can go to our social media pages, Elevate TV Kenya, if you have any question. And this is about church. So if you're a church and you need to grow and become great and get to greater heights, this is it. So strategy.
Yes.
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu.
Yes.
All right.
Now, the other fourth aspect that the leader needs to have as a strategic leader is the strength to decide what actions ought to be taken.
That's very key, eh?
Yes. Leadership is about decisions. You are faced with many situations in life, and every day actually you are faced with very many situations where you must make decisions.
Right.
The problem is we make decisions based on the pressure that we have, the immediate challenges, the difficulties that we are facing. You know?
Wow.
We have corona,
yes.
So let's deal with the corona. You forget that after corona, there are some 20, 30 years to come, and we need to build a dam to supply water. We need to do roads.
How do you manage, and from your experience, because that's a very key one, how do you manage to stay on course and say, I have 30 years of a strategic plan?
Yes.
There's a hindrance right here.
Yes.
There's pressure right here.
Yes.
How do I handle this without necessarily killing the entire?
You manage the urgent
versus
the important.
Take that again.
You manage the urgent
but vis-a-vis the important.
Vis-a-vis the important. And they must interact.
Okay.
Because what is immediate becomes urgent. It may not be very important. What is important may not be very urgent. It may require a bit of time to work on. So you must have a balance. Unfortunately, a lot of our leaders, and even in our churches, for example, we deal with the urgent.
Let's deal with this.
Yes,
Finish.
this has come, we deal with it. And a lot of us also in life, we deal with the urgent.
So you keep fighting.
Firefighting.
Yeah, all the time.
Firefighting.
10 years down
This is
the line.
why in our culture, we are not very good in investments. Because now investment is very important, but not urgent.
I like that. It is very important,
but not urgent. Yeah. Dressing is probably urgent. Or paying school fees is urgent.
It's urgent.
Yeah. So that balance must be there. So a leader must be able to make decisions. And now, this is where now, as a strategic leader, you must have many options. And those options must come out of analysis, creating scenarios, looking at what can be done so that you can get the best results or achieve what you want to do in the best way possible.
Okay.
So you have all those options. Yeah, it is possible to feed people with fish and ugali. But it is possible to do farming so that you can now get ugali from your own maize.
Wow. So those are options.
Options.
I can feed these guys every day
with ugali,
with ugali and fish.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
But
which I buy.
Which I buy.
Yeah.
But I can also go and do dams.
Yes, and put fish there.
And put fish.
And
grow maize.
Grow maize and feed them from your own farm. And actually bless others or share with others and create wealth.
Wow.
So you have to deal with that. The fifth thing that the leader needs to do is the commitment to align and stay on focus, like you have just asked.
Yes.
Stay on focus, commit to doing what you have said you will do. Yeah, because a lot of times we see people, they commit to follow a certain path. But as they go along, they get distracted. So you find them doing things that they are not saying they will do. So eventually you find you understand this is the way we are taking, but down the road, and we have also pastors and preachers who will say the Lord has now spoken. And you know now, he had spoken previously.
Yes.
Now you are changing course. It is not wrong because the Lord is not limited.
It's not cast on stone.
And the strategy is also not cast on stone.
Yes.
You can always take a
different route,
opportunity, and if you find a block, you can re-engineer and still end up to where. What we say is keep on the general path. The general path.
Yes.
You are going northeast, keep going northeast.
Yes.
But even if you have to go northwest,
yes,
to take a detour, but come back and keep going to northeast.
So that focus is very
important. And that means you have to have a specific information, continuous analysis, looking at the scenarios as they emerge. Like now we did not expect Corona to rock us down.
That's true.
But you cannot weep and cry and say, oh, You know, it came. We have crossed churches. We wanted to do a mission wherever.
Yeah.
And say, now we are finished.
Is a leader allowed at that point when things are not working to stop and turn, or rather go
back.
a different direction altogether? Is it suicidal?
You have lost opportunity. Because what happens in life, you cannot draw back your years that you have lived. Neither can you withdraw your experiences that you have had in life. So the moment you start on a course, you can only change course a little, realign.
Realign.
Change, realign.
Yeah, yes.
Because you have a focus. So we say when you cast a vision, it is not cast on stone. You might even achieve that vision faster and earlier.
True.
You cast another one.
Right.
If you're achieving, you go higher and higher. You keep on achieving. Actually, we say a vision should keep on beckoning to you. It never gets to an end. It keeps on beckoning to you.
Yeah.
Today, if you get a Mercedes-Benz, tomorrow you may want to drive a Hummer or a Lamborghini. Or and when you have those, you want to have an aircraft.
Else, probably go to the air. You keep growing.
That's what life is all about.
Yeah.
After all, the Bible says you move from glory to glory.
Yeah.
So that aspect to grow has been input in us. It's in it.
Right.
God put it there.
Wow.
Because it's God of perfection.
Yeah.
And He wants us to also live like Him. Now, the last bit is that you have to have humility as a leader.
Wow.
And humility is what helps you now to run, to appreciate challenges, to change course, to be flexible. You know, as you are saying now, when you find a problem, you don't go back, because going back is defeatist. You just become flexible and change a few things,
right.
and then you keep moving.
Question, that flexibility is very key, even as you talk about humility.
Yes.
As a leader, and you have a strategy, is it a good thing? For example, you're a pastor, since we're talking about church.
Yes.
And you have believed that, for me, full-time ministry is everything.
Yes.
I need to give my all.
Yes.
For the people in church. And then situations come like Corona.
Yes.
And it throws you off balance.
Yes.
You don't have sustenance like you had initially as a church.
Yes.
Is it flexibility, and this is controversial,
yes.
Is it flexibility to say, you know what, I'll still continue serving, but I need to go out there and tent make and get a job?
Tent make.
Yes.
I wouldn't blame that pastor at all. I would think as long as he keeps to the calling.
Okay.
And since the Lord has called him, the Lord has not repented that call. And he told you now, I have released you to go and do tent making.
Yeah.
You can do tent, but still be a minister,
still
on course. And when probably you have what with all to then stay without the tent making, then you keep doing what the Lord had called you to do. So really, when you think of strategy, we are saying that you have that flexibility to see things, but don't lose focus. Don't lose focus. That's what I keep telling people. Now, what we see in organizations, for example, is that we do very good strategic documents, even from government, even in churches. But then the will to follow through and implement what was said is not there, because you find challenges. You find the demands. You find you find things that somehow may even delay the implementation of the strategy as you had wished. So what people do, they throw the document into the drawer, and they say we do business as usual.
Wow.
All right.
Disastrous.
So the document becomes just an academic
paper.
So then going back to, and let me tell you, business as usual is very comfortable.
Oh, yes.
Because nobody is making demands. Nobody is checking whether we are doing what we said. We only do what we are able to.
Wow.
And it's very comfortable.
It's easy.
It's easy. It's a roller coaster.
Yes.
And I've found a lot of CEOs who do that. They do documents, but if you ask them whether they implemented, they have not. Or they just did very little.
Right.
But I love one CEO, I'll not mention the name. We did a strategy, And he told me, Eliud, this strategy can get me sacked.
Wow.
Because even for me, it looks huge.
Yeah.
And it's big.
Right.
And this organization does not have good funding. Do you think we should do it, put it on paper, or remove it?
Wow.
I looked at him, I pitied him.
Yes.
And I told him, let me assure you, do it, put it there. If it is not done, someone will see you had intention.
Right. And you did something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazingly now as we talk. When we took that document to the PS in
Yes.
charge of that ministry, because it's a parastatal, he only picked that thing that we were thinking is very big.
That specific one.
That specific one. And he said, I want to raise money
For
to
this.
do this particular thing. Because it was the major strategic thing for that organization.
And game changer.
And a game changer.
Wow.
So as we talk right now, almost 8 years down the road, they have built a 12-storied structure.
Wow.
Which is big. It has gobbled quite a bit of money. But it is there. They have done some other structures somewhere else.
Yes.
Where we had said they will do. But Andy refused to write it.
Yes.
Nothing would have happened.
And to the success of him as an in charge, right?
No, that's what he's remembered for.
Wow.
I mean, even politically.
Yes.
What are leaders remembered for?
Yeah.
Even in the church.
Oh, yes.
What will the person be remembered for? Yeah. It is some things that you did,
Yes.
which were very strategic. They moved the ministry forward.
That's true.
They put the ministry in a strategic place where work was done. God's work was done. So there are many things that we can do. So back to the scenario you created.
Yes.
And I tend to think now, if the pastor has some of those skills and is able to utilize that, he'll be able to turn around that church quickly.
Yeah.
But it has to be written down.
Yes.
If
That's
it is
very important.
If it is written down,
yes,
the probability for it getting done is very high.
Wow.
And the numbers will grow. The money will be put in the right use.
Yes.
They will get the land they are looking for. Maybe they will put up the sanctuary they are trying to think about. And the church will be there, vibrant.
Wow.
And growing.
Great. As we wind up,
yes,
for today,
okay,
I like those. Probably just do them very quickly.
Yes.
The 6 pointers.
Yes.
And these are characteristics of a strategic leader.
Yes.
Yeah. Just pick them up again before we do.
Yes.
The last.
Yes. Just to recap, it's the ability to anticipate.
All right.
That is number one. You are able to see the future. You are able to cast a vision. You are able to anticipate the things you desire should happen.
All right.
In fact, we say that is the hallmark of a good reader.
Great.
Because you can't read the people strategically without a vision. Where are you taking them?
Right.
Yeah, Moses told them, I'm taking them to a land flowing with milk and honey.
Yes.
So regardless of the challenges,
Let's
the vision
go.
was understood.
All right.
The second one is the will to challenge issues and situations.
All right.
Assumptions.
Okay.
Where are we in slavery? We must move and go and serve our God.
Right.
It's a better way of living. We can turn around this community. We can turn around this country. We can help people become what they should be.
Yes.
The third thing is the tenacity to analyze and interpret situations, data, trends.
Right.
Like if you are thinking of a commercial enterprise, you have to interpret trends.
Yes.
What are the
Very
tastes of the
key.
people?
Yeah.
In the next 10 years, what kind of dressings will be there? So you are able to anticipate.
Yes.
You are saying the highest consumption is youth. So what would they be looking for?
True.
Yeah, phones. We have come from Mwizi to some very complicated gadgets.
Yes.
So probably we may need phones that now even measure your temperature, are able to determine your pass.
Yes.
All those
and all
things.
that. Right.
Those are the trends. The fourth thing is the strength to decide and make decisions, to determine what ought to be done, having multiple options and selecting the best.
Right.
And if it doesn't work, you can change. You know, decision making is a continuous thing, and you perfect it as you go along.
Right.
The fifth one is the commitment to align resources, ideas, and whatever you are using into a formation. in life, you find that people have got divergent thinkings. They see things differently. Even in an organization, people do not see the same thing the same way.
Right.
So your business as a leader is to align the thinking in one dimension, the one that you have set to do. Yeah, so we call that alignment.
All right.
And then the last one is the humility to learn, to change, to be flexible, to pick things and humble yourself. You know, you don't know everything. Even as you go forward, you don't know everything.
True.
So you'll be faced with various things. So the ability to learn quickly, interpret,
yes,
share with others, and then be as flexible as possible. Listen to other voices and other ideas.
Right.
Yes.
Finally, in just about a minute or so, and this probably will be a precursor to our next conversation.
Thank you.
How can the church be strategic?
The church should be very strategic.
Right.
Did you hear my word?
Yes.
Should be very strategic. Because God depends on the church to carry out his purposes on earth.
Wow.
God depends on the church. So if the church is not strategic, there are many things that will not be done. And that is not the will of God.
Right.
It's not God's purpose. So it should be very strategic. Church leaders should be very strategic. And they need to understand strategy.
Right.
And they need to make their churches strategic. Develop strategic plans,
Yes.
however small the church is.
However small,
Yes.
it needs to have a plan.
Don't start without a direction or just chancing. There's no room for chance.
I like that. Yeah.
You just need to be strategic, know what you want to do, and start doing it and keep doing it.
Right.
You get to where God intended you to get.
Right.
The country must also be strategic. Now I'm going beyond the church.
Yes.
So probably that we will discuss later. The country, even our businesses, our organizations. You can't do much without strategy.
Yes.
That will be my take.
Great.
Yes.
Wow, I like that. That's a very good conversation. And I like what you said. The strategy begins, to the smallest level. As a family, you need to have a strategy.
Yes.
As a church, you need to have a strategy.
Yes.
Basically, you need to have a map.
A map
that takes you
where you want to go.
And as a leader in that organization, you need to be strategic, even about your leadership.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
So this conversation continues, Mr. Nthiga. Thank you very much for the great insights you've given us today and even the pictures you have painted for us. And I'm sure our churches will agree that, yes, help is needed, especially after this COVID, season. More help is needed. You can give us a contact. How do we get to you? Email, probably, even a number if you're okay with that.
Yes. My telephone number is 0722 71 1108.
All right, you can take that again.
Yeah, 0722 71 1108.
All right.
Then you can also get me on email at Eliud Nthiga @gmail.com.
Nthiga is Nthiga.
Yes.
Eliud Nthiga at
gmail.com.
All right.
Yes, you can get me on those two.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much for making time to be here.
Thank you.
I'm sure the conversation continues even after this. Next week we'll be having Apostle Patrick Muredi, and I can bet probably this conversation will be will be continuing. If that is what we'll be doing, well and good. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your feedback. Have a beautiful rest of your day. And may the Lord bless you and be strategic.
Amen.